Peter Houston alongside him. 14 though, Radke with helmet on, all dressed. Peter Houston in the Swagman car. Ran in the earlier race, was leading it, and then had the ignition lead come off, which put him out of the race, but he'll be back, and certainly a driver to watch. There are 20 starters. Just how competitive it will be, you may understand. We tell you that the first 15 cars on the grid were separated in practice by only 1.1 second. In the first 15 cars, half a minute to go. It's Peter Radke and Peter Houston on the front row. Wayne Hall and Graham Engel. Graham Engel in car 1, definitely a driver to watch. Second row, Doug Angus and Bill Christie in the next row. Young Mark Penklis as the driver of the future, and Glyn Ballantyne. Derek Fry for Victoria with Peter Williamson. Gavin Green in the Endrus V, and John Hook on the 6th row. Damien Ridgway for Victoria, and Greg McCombie in car 41 on the 7th row. There's a stall there. See way back behind him. McCombie knows what is going to car 24 coming to the lead, Peter Houston, but he's got Radke coming from inside, and it looks just like the earlier race with the whole pack warming up at each other and coming over the top of the hill, 3.5 abreast. A wide field there, and Radke sweeping right across in front of the field. Rather a dangerous sort of manoeuvre there.
One driver to keep your eye on is Bill Christie in the white car, very high back for a B, car number 26. Bill found lines that we never knew existed around Amaroo Park in the earlier race, and you'll see him make a big charge. He's on the outside of that pack, round about 6th or 7th place by the look of it. In fact, there he is.
That's Bill Christie.
Bill Christie is gone.
You're talking about unusual lines. My heavens, what have you done to him, Peter? There are two of them. They've touched there, apparently, but Bill Christie's the one up the bank there, stationary. Can't quite pick the identity of the other car, which is all right. He's lost the bodywork. He himself's okay. He's trying to drive the car off. No problem as far as Bill's concerned. Sponsored by Jim Beam Whiskey, which suggests all sorts of interesting reasons, but I'm sure that's not it. Bill Christie has the most phenomenal bad luck, but a great driver out of the race. And in the meantime, it's Engel in 1, who's up there, coming from the second row. Peter Houston in 24 on the inside line. Peter Radke's on the outside. Engel goes in behind him. But it'll be Houston who makes the better line, although they're spreading out to 3 ranks as they come up to the top of the hill.
Yeah, that car, in fact, Bill Christie is there. There he is, car 26, the white car on the inside. It was car 19. We got a bit carried away there. John Hook was the car that went off. Very similar looking car, another white car. So Bill Christie, and keep your eye on him in car number 26, most definitely in the race.
Good news, because Christie certainly adds a lot of colour to the race. A Scott driver. Engel takes a terribly fast line through this corner normally. He's not up there at the moment. He's in car 1. He's back in 4th place. Went off the track here, in fact. 77, the Endrus B going through. I'll keep a rather paternal eye on Gavin Green driving that car, doing well. Was on the 6th row of the grid, was only a matter of half a second behind the fastest car. His first season of driving, as is Mark Penklis, doing very well also, another 19-year-old driving. But in the meantime, 71.
It's Penklis.
Yeah, Mark Penklis, the driver.
Talk about the charge of the Light Brigade. Cars everywhere. And Radke's been bluffed off that line. Car 24, Peter Houston, is looking for the lead, has the inside line, but I think they have lost it over the top. We'll see in a moment.
They're gone. There's a
cars going in all directions.
Bill Christie has gone. He's one that's gone off there. There are 4 cars off and another one to the other side wide. Now, who's come through? I saw Gavin go through, watching to see who's safe and who's not. But we lost about 5 cars then, one of which did a big spin to the other side and got back again. There's 14, you can see. That was Peter Radke, the leader, the man we spoke to before, who got really tangled up. He's lost the nose of the car and lost a bit of good humour, I would think, as well. Now through Honda. Car 15, the leader at the moment, which is Derek Fry, the Victorian. Gavin is up in 4th place. Yes, that's right. So all sorts of strange things have happened. But it's Derek Fry, a very experienced Victorian driver, appearing at Amaroo for the first time, who inherited the lead, dodging the tangle of twisting cars. There's the Endrus V of Gavin Green, who's up in 4th place in his first season, like Mark Penklis, the driver we mentioned in 71. There's certainly, I think, 2 of the younger drivers to watch. But you can see the gap there. The leading 3 cars now with Fry and Graham Engel behind. One of the persons who must have been favoured for the drive, Engel, must have done very well to get out of that dodge, though he might just have been a little bit in front as he got through. Different front, the rather splayed nose giving slightly better down thrust than Fry. 36 in 3rd place. It's Wayne Hall, who won last time, was a terribly excited young fellow. You may remember, if you're watching, not the last meeting, last time I was here, I missed the May meeting when Jim Shepherd carried on for me while I was away, but Wayne Hall won the meeting before and is certainly a driver of great promise and great excitement when he does well. But it's Fry from Victoria now. in the latest of the, I think it's a Nimbus he's riding. You get a bit confused with some of these makes. But yes, it's the new Nimbus, a very unusual shape, more like one of the Formula cars. Ooh, a lot of oil pouring from...
It's Peter Houston.
Yes, Peter Houston, who is up into 4th place, having got by Gavin Green, who's now harrying him a little bit back there. But in 15 is still Fry in the very unusually and sleekly shaped new Nimbus from Victoria. Engel, who's behind him, will be looking for a way around. Particularly watch Engel on Honda. He might be slowing down a bit after his escapade this morning, but he is sensationally fast in that corner. Oh, and a real slingshot effect then from Hall, who went up. Didn't quite get him by. He got on the outside of Engels, which is not a good place to be. Engel, rather. He had to come in behind again. It's a 10-lap race. We have 6 laps to go, 5.5 from this point.
It'll be interesting to see whether Engel can come through and inherit the lead from Fry, who probably was a little bit surprised when he found himself in the lead after that big tangle on the top of Dunlop Curve. Car 24 Houston still blowing a big smoke screen out the back. I think he'd be better off calling it a day before he does something too drastic.
Gavin Green just went past there. I don't know if you could see in that smoke cloud. I saw him at Amaroo Park racing behind a similar car, and he came in covered in oil. Very hard when smoke is pouring out for the drivers behind, who just can't see. But bad luck for the driver of the car pouring smoke out Peter Houston, because he had misfortune in the first race day when they trotted away. Yes, he's pulling out, Jim. He must have heard you. He just is not going to go on.
Doug Angus is the driver who has managed rather to get past Gavin, and finally Houston has woken up about the oil.
Angus closing up. Gavin Green in 77, the double channel 7 symbols. He goes through in the Envas car. He likes this part of the circuit, a very fast part there. He was following in practice out there for the first time Alan Grice. Hadn't seen him before, and found that the V was a little faster through there than the Mazda, but not as fast up the hill. So an interesting comparison between these open wheel Formula V cars, powered by the 1.2 litre VW engine, of course, which mustn't be modified, but very, very light cars. There's a little Porsche there. And some of the second group now, car 18, it is Peter Williamson closing up. Peter, one of the men, in fact, who started gapping off in racing, was telling me before the race that the best he could do in previous years of driving here was around 1.35 around the circuit. He spent $1,000 just a few months ago in rebuilding the car, putting a special engine in it. And yesterday he went around in 1.2.4, was terribly happy till he found that there were 9 drivers faster than him. So he said, what have you got to do to get up in such competitive racing? But a great driver in the sporting sense, Peter Williamson there in car 18.
With 4 laps to go, and Fry's still our race. No, yes, still our race leader. I thought he'd been passed there for a moment.
It's Fry, Hall, Engel.
Hall managing to get past Engel into 2nd place. So
we got the 4th car at the moment, Gavin Green in 5th, and Peter Williamson in 6th place.
The stage does seem set for one of those Amaroo Park last lap desperates, because if these cars stay in the position they're in, just watch out for fireworks on the very last lap, and it'll probably occur at the point they're on now, around about Honda Corner.
It's Doug Angus now in 4th spot, just leading Gavin Green through in the pack. What remains of it coming through, 20 cars started, we lost about 5 of them in that melee.
Graham Engel, by the way, has put his hand up. I don't know whether he was just acknowledging a flag signal, or yes, he was. I thought for a moment he may be pulling out. Engel back in 3rd position, behind Hall, with Derek Fry leading this race in the blue car right of screen, through Hodgson and into Shell Straight.
This is the fantastic 2W Formula V Series race. There's car 1 going through. That's Graham Engel now in the 2nd spot, but Fry may have got just a little bit too far away from them. Derek Fry from Victoria has opened up what by Formula V standards is a fair sort of lap, and you notice how the other cars have caught up to the 2nd and 3rd. No longer are they separated, but now we have car 5, which is Doug Angus and Gavin Green in 77, as well as Peter Williamson, all up behind them and making that bunch for 2nd place now much tighter than it was before. So it's Fry in the 1st place, coming down through Mazda House Corner out of 2W Straight, which is an absolutely flat out corner in top gear in these VWs. They only change gear about once or twice, never lower than 3rd gear. Angus, Wayne Hall, he's dropped back a bit. He's Graham Engel. Now, Fry, I think, might be in trouble because Engel is very fast around this 2nd half of the circuit. We'll watch as they come over the top. Engel will make a nibbling move here. He'll try and get on the inside as they come out of the bend, just to let him know that he's there. Engel knows the circuit a little bit better than Fry, who's a Victorian and having his first race here at Amaroo.
I'd say Fry has learnt this course extremely quickly. He's starting to shut the gate in true Amaroo Park style coming down the hill.
Oh, a very experienced driver, Jim. He's done a lot of driving. Although it's his first time here, he knows most circuits, and he certainly knows his way around the Formula V. It's Fry who leads Engel, who's having a real go there, then Angus. And a whole group of cars peeling through there in their battle for third place. Still Wayne Hall, who's running in third at the moment. Or locking up the brakes there as cars come in, but meantime, just a little bit ahead of the smoke pouring out from the cars behind is Fry, who's still in front of Graham Engel. They should have their last lap signal as they come around. The last lap brought out. So if Engel's going to do it, it has to be in this lap.
You can imagine the frustration that a fellow like Engel must have, desperately trying to find a way inside or outside or somehow around a past Derek Fry from Victoria.
He's obviously faster there. See the way he was sweeping around, indicating he might get by, and he could get by, but knowing he can't get by. It's Doug Angus back in third spot, and a group of cars. The fourth place just sweeping by the camera now as the leaders come down through Mazda corner, down towards Honda. This is where Engel goes quickly, but he's not going to run off the circuit like he did this morning. He takes a fast line through there, and it's Angus.
Have to try and do it on the next corner if he can possibly find a way through, but I think he's a little bit too far behind. He'll probably try and outbrake him. But Fry extremely quickly into Rothman's corner. Engel pulls to the outside looking for now an inside pass. Anywhere. Outside again. Pokes his way down to the inside again.
He'll pull out at the last minute, but I don't think he's going to do it. Angus will come into third. He just hit the fence, in fact, but still going, and it's Victorian. Derek Fry, a very good win for him. Graham Engel rather pulling alongside just to let him know that he could have passed. Doug Angus, who comes home third ahead of that rather angry pack of cars. Wayne Hall was next, then Peter Williamson and Gavin Green cheering fifth and sixth. I'm not quite sure who crossed the line there. It's a bit hard to follow further back when you're so intent on the interest up front, but a great win to the Victorian driver Derek Fry, who started from the 9th position on the grid.
Fun. Just close racing is the way it ought to be.
I know it's silly after maybe only one race to ask you how it compares here with Victoria, but what sort of impressions after you're forming after this first outing here at Amaroo?
Well, it's just as competitive. The style of driving is a little bit different. It's all done under brakes here, seeing because of the difference in the circuits, shorter circuits, but with the longer straights, of course, we do it by slipstreaming in Victoria.
You're driving one of the new Nimbuses.
Yeah, that's right, tube frames Nimbus it is, yeah.
How does it vary compared to the older model?
Only by body shape, that's all.
And that new nose is to would give greater down thrust and so on as compared to the rather traditional look of a Formula V?
Just to try and get it through the air quicker, that's all.
It works?
Yeah, seems to.
Right. Well, Derek Fry, congratulations. We hope we're going to see you here again at another Formula V meeting?
Well, won't be able to make it to the next one, but we'll see how we go.
Right.
Thank you.
Derek Fry, winner of the fantastic TEW Formula V race here today. A very spectacular event. As far as 7 viewers now, back to Jim Shepherd, and for the course spectators, it's Bernie King.